This is an NBC News special report. Here's
Trevor
Lester Holt.
Springer.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. I'm Trevor Springer, and welcome to the Daily Report. Okay, and yes, it's finally happened. For the first time in 8 years, we have a rich white man in the White House. Okay, give a little round of applause for that. All right, thank you, Lord. All right. Now, have you seen the reaction of these liberal Hillary supporters? Okay, I don't think they really understand how our democracy works. Okay, you can't just go out and complain and cry and whine and riot about the election. Okay, I'm going to show you this little electoral map before these riots happened. Okay, here's a picture of that. Alright, now after the election, that's what the electoral map looks like. Didn't change much. Now, to all the liberals out there that watch this show, the whole two of you that are watching, and y'all that say that us Republicans rioted after Obama was elected, yeah, you're right. I remember the great Romney riots of 2012. Anybody else remember that? Yeah, I didn't think so. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have a great show planned for you tonight. We have award-winning authors Ben Ryan and Aaron Bennett with us here this evening. We will also have marijuana expert, or pothead as most of us know him as, Angelo Roche, some Mexican name, on here this evening. It'll be great. Glad y'all could be with us. Alright, everybody, I'd like to welcome Mr. Ben Ryan, author of Justice for All, to our program. Sir, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Trevor?
Great. I've been great. Just talked to my Uncle Jerry. He was great guy.
That's good.
Doing well.
That's good to hear.
Alright, so in your paper, you talk about the relationship between officers and the citizens of our great nation.
Yeah.
What do you feel the relationship is at this moment in time?
At this moment in time, relations are pretty bad. Not gonna lie. You know, it's about every week now we hear about a new problem, a new unjustifiable action committed by a police officer towards a citizen, usually of color, unfortunately. And in recent studies done by like the New York Times, polls, it's pretty apparent America has really changed. People are starting to really realize this racial divide that's forming in our country, and a lot of people are even going to the fact to say racial tension is as high as it was in like the 80s, the 90s with like the LA riots and all that. So it's not looking good. Pretty bad.
Now tell me, why or how did it get this way?
I think it has to do primarily with really it's always been a problem, but ever since the rise of social media and this really everything is online now, so it's everyone sees everything. So if something like this happens, it's a good thing. If something like this happens, it's really shown light, because in the past, something like this happens and it's something that'll stay in a neighborhood or stay in a community and it doesn't really get out. And now that social media is a factor, it's everywhere, anyone can see it.
So do you think the Twitter and the Facebook and all that social media stuff, do you think we need to get rid of that, or do you think it's a good thing that we should still have that?
It's good if you use it responsibly.
Okay.
Obviously it's people of all ages are going to have it, so not all of it's going to be just professional. But I mean, these news stations and universities and stuff all have Twitter accounts, so it can be used for good, but responsibly.
Okay. Now, how do you think we need to go about fixing this divide between the cops and our citizens? And if you could, address it to our future Commander-in-Chief, Mr. Donald J. Trump, because you and I both know he could use some help. So,
yeah. I think it's hard to say. They've gotten worse, definitely, with as I said, social media and just how everything is just broadcasted now. But another big factor in that is the racial, it's, white, you got your white cop and a, person of color, and as the victim in most cases, and obviously there's repercussions that it goes back and forth with Tech, Dallas. That's
I remember that.
Unfortunately. So, and I mean, it's almost like a war now. It's not as much like one police officer did something wrong and now like all police officers across the country are looked at poorly. It's more of like a police versus minority community. It's not like a minority community versus this particular officer that was at fault in this particular situation.
So do you think there's things that officers as individuals can do to rebuild that relationship?
Yes, I do, and I touched on this in my my paper. It really starts with police officers taking accountability for their actions, and not as much like, because you'll always see the press releases, after the fact of one of these tragedies, but in most cases it's the police and whatever the chief of police of the sheriff of that particular
more like the chief of police, but yeah.
Right, yeah. And they'll usually address the crowd in a a manner like, well, unfortunately our officer was misguided, or he was like wrong in his judgment or something, but it's never, this police officer is guilty, he will be tried. They don't give, as a person in this community that would have been affected by a shooting like that, like someone that knew, like a family member, a friend or something, you don't want to hear from pretty much the people responsible for your son or daughter or father or mother's death is, well, it was, the police officer was wrong in his judgment. Like, you don't want to hear, you want to hear like justice will be served. You don't want to hear a bunch of like, well, we'll look into it and well, evidence is blah blah blah. It really, people just want to hear justice. That's what it is. It's just one big cry for justice, really.
Yeah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to see Mr. Ryan's paper, you can visit our website at thedailyreport.com, and it's right under our Blue Lives Matter articles. And sir, now as you know, there's a big controversial topic going on right now about whether or not we should have the right to guns or not. Well, I'm pretty sure our founding father wrote a document called the Constitution, and the Second Amendment to that Constitution said that we have the right to bear arms, like guns, not bear arms, but guns. And I don't know why these liberal yahoos think that we need to take that right away from us. I don't know about you guys, but I like going out and killing me a deer or a big old buck every once in a while, alright? But if they want to change anything, I think they need to give us a little bit more knowledge so that the young folks of America know what's going on when they pick up a rifle or a pistol or what have you. But speaking of knowledge and learning something, I'd like you to welcome Aaron, the author of Equality for Students. Alright, ma'am, in your paper you talk about students and deserving equality. Now I'd like to know, what is the impact of the No Child Left Behind law?
Well, it was started in 2002 by President Bush, and its purpose, or was signed by President Bush, its purpose was to kind of create standards for schools in all of the states to have like a required skill that all students had to reach in like math and reading and stuff like that. And over time it kind of just got realized that it was kind of hard that students learn on different levels, and it was just hard for them to all reach that level.
Okay, I get that. I still read at a third grade level. Now, why are fair and equal environments important for students to learn? I guess that's the word I was looking for. Learn.
It's important because students, they're there to learn and gain knowledge, so it's important that they all get the same opportunity to learn, so one's not getting a higher retention level or like more knowledge than the other, that they all get like the same learning opportunities, no matter like their skin color or what kind of language they speak or what they wear or stuff like that.
Alright, thank you very much. Now, if you would like to view our paper, you can go on to our website again at thedailyreport.com. It's right under No Child Left Behind, okay, right under that. And thank you very much.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day.
You too.
Alright folks, I'd like to bring you some breaking news. Outside, right now, there's some great riots going on. I'd like to bring you to our field reporter, Pablo Sanchez. Pablo.
Thank you, Trevor. Here we have Daniel Templar, a citizen protesting. Now, sir, what is it that you're protesting about?
I am protesting abortion because all lives matter. No matter...
Sir, what happened? Why did you do that?
Because this guy's a piece of shit. All women should have the right to have an abortion.
So you're telling me she should have the right to murder babies?
Her body, her goddamn choice.
Please don't cuss, sir. Alright, if you come over here, we have Daniel Templar, I believe, to talk about his opinion on the abortion riots. Sir, how do you feel that all this is going?
Well, you know, abortion is a tricky thing. There's no right or wrong answer. You know, there's over 1,000 rules and regulations that have been implemented in America. And there's no definite pro-choice answer, definite pro-life answer. So I think that they should have taken the idea that a pro-life would have for different rules and regulations that he thinks should implement, and then a pro-choice, their ideas that they should implement, and then combine them almost like a compromise.
Wow, if only the rest of America could be like that. Thank you, Daniel. Back to you, Trevor.
Alright, thank you, Pablo. Now, the guest we've all been waiting for, our resident pothead or marijuana expert, and the author of The Green Rush, whatever that means, Angelo Roche? Sir, how do you say your last name?
Rosés.
Rosés? Alright, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so my very first question is, what would the effect of legalizing this very dangerous drug be?
Well, I believe that it is important to look to the states that already have legalized if you want the answer to those questions. And when you look at places like Colorado, Washington, and Oregon, you know, the pundits all predicted that there was going to be raises in crime and school dropout rates, but it's been quite the opposite. Less teens are using in those areas than the rest of the nation, and as a matter of fact, crime rates have gone way down since the legalization of pot in Colorado.
Alright, okay. Now, how do you think this could affect the economy of this great nation, seeing as we are in a downpour of crappy economy right now, and our new up-and-coming president, the great Donald John Trump, needs some help. As you know, he needs all the help he can get. What do you think the economic effects of legalizing marijuana would be?
Well, I believe that it will create tens of thousands of new jobs and even more job markets, as well as millions, if not billions of dollars in revenue for the state and federal government. There's taxes like you would alcohol, for say. Even in Colorado, they made over $100 million last year on sales tax alone in the year 2015. I think it's important to bring that scale out to the entire nation when you get to more populated states such as California and Texas.
Now, I understand that you brought some marijuana to demonstrate
yes,
for us.
I wanted to try it out with that.
Guys, what are you doing? It's totally illegal.
Well, then why did you let me bring this nut job on the show?